Hello, and welcome to another draft player analysis video. Today I will be doing Paxton Lynch. Now, sadly, before I get into it, I didn't have a lot of time to watch a lot of tape on him. I'm going to do it more if I feel like this video isn't, holds up, and maybe a couple, as we get closer to the draft, if it doesn't seem accurate enough, I might switch it out and might make a new one just to kind of develop a bit more on what I think of him. But as of right now, I'm going off of what I know. So, Paxton Lynch, quarterback, Memphis. 6'7", 244 pounds. Stats: 8,865 passing yards career, 59 touchdowns to 23 interceptions. I couldn't find out a solid ratio to use with that, so I'd say maybe about I don't know. I don't want to do math and think about it right now, but I couldn't think of a ratio for that, so I just said forget it. 137 quarterback rating, 687 rushing yards, and 17 touchdowns. His combine numbers: a 4.64 4.86 40-yard dash. For a guy who's 6'7" and 245, I think that's very impressive. And the rest of these are kind of just who cares. 36-inch vertical, 118-inch broad, and 7.14 second cone drill. He's athletic, he's big, and he's an interesting prospect. Again, I didn't have a lot of time to check Paxton Lynch's overall, full game tape and all that stuff. So I went off of what I saw. I watched one game. I watched Houston. So, my first pro is height and strength. 6'7" is probably above average for an NFL quarterback. I'd say average is maybe 6'3", 6'2". So he's above average height-wise. Strength-wise, he's a strong guy. I mean, he runs with authority. When he leaves the pocket, he's running with authority. He's running to hurt, it seems like. He could shed a tackle. He could also take a hit very well. I saw one play in particular where he pocket collapsed. He rolled out, tried to pump fake the guy. Didn't work, and he, that's pass interference, dude. What is that shit? I think I might have made him too slow. But whatever. That was a joke. Okay. So he just got railed by the corner. Absolutely just destroyed. He just gets hit really hard and stands right back up. So, I mean, he's big and he's strong and he's athletic. Extremely, surprisingly quick for a man of his size. A 4.86 40-second yard dash is pretty impressive for a guy who's 6'7", 245. Most guys built like that, you would assume maybe, 4'9"-ish. 4'9"-ish, maybe even in the 5-second range. He's extremely athletic. That's about the same time as Jared Goff. Very similar times almost. I don't have my thing for Jared Goff on me right now, so I won't 100% know. He has a good play action. Memphis ran a lot of play action, and he sells it very well. Think of how Cam Newton does it, where he leaves the ball in the running back's chest when he runs a read option. He leaves the ball in his hands until he's absolutely positive what he wants to do. It seems like Paxton Lynch does that with his play actions. He leaves the ball in there long enough to make it seem like the running back has it, and then hides it well while he's rolling out. I think he does play action extremely well. He makes a lot of plays outside of the pocket, but he doesn't run out of the pocket. He wants to throw the ball. He doesn't want to run around and try and make a play with his feet. He wants to make it with his arm because he probably assumes that that's more effective, and it is, in my mind. His drop back from under center. I watched his footwork from the combine, and it looked really good. You know, he still stands up straight while he does it, so he doesn't he doesn't do it quick. It's a little slow, but that can be worked on and fixed. I thought for a guy who almost never took snaps from under center, he looked extremely well doing it. Again, it wasn't as good as Wentz and Goff taking them, especially Wentz. Wentz takes a really good under center snap. It's very impressive to watch. But I will say, for a guy who ran primarily in shotgun, it's easy to compare him to how Jared Goff performed in the shotgun. Jared Goff was, he ran a lot of shotgun at Cal, and when he got to the combine, his dropbacks, his steps were quick, and they looked really good. And my cons, he doesn't play under center, which is what a lot of teams want you to do. They want you to play under center and take dropbacks and throw from under center. So that could be a huge issue for him later in his career. Dude, how is this not pass interference? Like, dude, what is with Madden? It's such a joke. His ball placement is a little iffy at points. Oh no, my controller's dying. Stop it, controller. His ball placement can be a little iffy at times. Excuse me. He sometimes he'll underthrow it. It will go a little too wide out on a rollout pass, which, again, you're not setting your feet and actually throwing it, so I can understand it. But even when he takes his steps back from under center, he sometimes, the receivers have to make adjustments to the ball. So his placement's a little iffy as of right now in his young career. As he's going through his progressions, he makes them very slowly. He makes his progressions slowly, meaning he'll take his snap, he'll do his play action, because he did a lot of play action passes from Memphis. Almost every single pass that I saw, it was out of play action. So, as he's passing, his progression speed is slow. He's looking. It seems like I didn't really pay attention to it 100% because I was trying to see how he would throw the ball. I'll have to go back and check it. But it seems like his feet aren't moving as much as they should be. So he's not, moving his eyes around properly inside the pocket. But I really do believe that his progression speed is slow. It seems like he looks at a guy, realizes he's covered, but by the time he realizes that he's not going to be able to make the play, the pocket's already collapsing on him, and that's when he has to roll out and try and make a play from outside. I watched one full game, and another, about a couple minutes of another. The entire Houston game I watched, I did not see him throw a pass more than 20 yards. That's not good in my mind. I think to succeed in the NFL, you have to be able to throw the deep ball, and I didn't see him throw it much, which could be that he just doesn't want to throw it, or maybe his offense just didn't, request it for him to throw deep balls, or maybe his arm strength just isn't as good as it for a guy his size. He's very athletic and rangy, but how's his arm strength? I didn't really get to see him throw much, at least in a game situation. In the combine, he threw pretty well, but again, that's not a game situation. He's not throwing when men are rushing him and when he's, when there's a man either in front of and or behind him in that situation. And when he does throw the deep ball, it's not that great. I did look up a couple of his deep passes just to find them really quickly. He throws the deep ball okay, at best. He has a okay deep ball. It's not inconsistent like I would say Carson Wentz's is. It's just not good yet. And it's something he could still work on. I mean, he's an athletic guy, and I would assume he's pretty smart. I mean, I don't have, he's not an academic All-American, but I mean, he stayed out of trouble out of college that I know of. He stayed out of trouble. He didn't make any very dumb decisions. And I think he'd probably be able to learn the things that he needs to learn. All right. I have an NFL comparison. I would say an athletic Brock Osweiler. And I do say that a little bit because of the size comparison, but I also do it because they have similar builds, obviously, but I feel like they can be a similar players when his arm strength gets to where it needs to be. So when Paxton Lynch's arm strength gets to the level that it needs to be a good pro, I think him and Brock Osweiler will have very similar career paths. And he also has that added bonus of being a very athletic player. He's extremely athletic for his size, which is a huge plus. And I say he is a more athletic Brock Osweiler. I can't believe I just lost my train of thought on that guy. I really like Brock Osweiler. Brock Osweiler coming out of Arizona State. I really liked him. I thought he could have been a very good developmental quarterback, and he has been. He's developed behind Peyton Manning for a few years, and played well in the 7 games that he started. I felt he played pretty solid and showed that he can take over an NFL offense. And I think that could be Paxton Lynch at some point in his career. All right, predictions, projection, whichever one you want to use. The reason I'm throwing it a lot is just so I can show off how I made this Paxton Lynch. I didn't give him enough speed, I feel. I think I undercut his speed a little bit because I don't feel like he's as athletic as I wanted. Because I had to round out his stats. I had to make him a 74 because I'm pretty sure I made Goff like a 78. I made Wentz like a 77. So I had to make him less good. So I had to make Connor Cook and Dak Prescott like 72s, and maybe Hackenberg a 73-ish, not 73, like maybe like a 71, 70. So I have him ranked as a early mid. I have him ranked at the earliest I believe he'll go is 13. And the latest he'll go is 46, which is the Eagles' second pick, I believe. That's when the Eagles select the second time around. So, my first team of interest is Philadelphia. I feel like, again, this guy can develop into a very good player. And he's cut along the same cloth as Carson Wentz, where he's an athletic guy who just needs to develop properly. And he could be very, very good, in my opinion. But, again, it's all on if Philly really believes that Lynch can be their guy in a couple years. I think that Philly could take a shot on him, if Wentz and Goff are off the board and they really want to develop a young guy who is hyper athletic for his size, so, oh, I lost my train of thought again. I hate that. The team I'm playing as, the Los Angeles Rams. They need a quarterback bad. I think the only reason that I can have an issue with the Rams selecting him, Paxton Lynch, is that he'll need to develop a lot. And if they start him day one, that really could hurt him. I mean, it shows that they have confidence in him as a player, but it can really hurt him. It can hurt his development because they're just going to throw him right into the starting role. Or I would assume they would. So he wouldn't develop off, he wouldn't develop through practice and all those other things. But I think if the Rams truly believe that he can be their guy, they'll take a shot on him very early and very quickly. I've seen a couple mock drafts where Jared Goff has fallen to him, saying that Philly's not going to prioritize him, Dallas isn't going to, and a couple other ones. But I've seen that Jared Goff has fallen to St. Louis. I doubt that. I think that Cleveland will like Wentz's intangibles more, but I think they're going to want the guy who's more pro-ready today. And I think that's Jared Goff currently. And that's why I think that the Browns will make the pick of Jared Goff over Wentz. And I could see Wentz dropping as far as 22 if it really comes down to it. I doubt it. Obviously, LA could take a shot on him. So, there are a lot of teams that are picking early that can use a backup guy that they can develop, or a guy who could step in and start, like the Rams or the Browns. It's just, who do the Browns want? Do the Cowboys want to draft a quarterback? Do the Eagles want to draft a quarterback? Who do the Rams really want? And does Houston want to take a quarterback in the first round if one of the top two running backs aren't there? I have the Jets. First round, more or less. I don't think he would fall as far to the Jets in the second round. The Jets are picking at like about 50 some. So I doubt the Jets he falls that far to the Jets in the second round. Again, he's a development project. He's a very athletic guy who can make plays with his arm and legs. It's just he needs to develop into a pro. He needs 2 seasons to become a proper player. Because if they just throw him in day one, he's not going to perform well. And a lot of fans are going to turn against him on their respective team. I think that's a big issue. And I have Houston in the first round. Again, I doubt he drops as far to Houston in that first round. But if he does drop down to Houston in the first round, do they want a quarterback who can develop? Does Bill O'Brien want to bring back his guy from Penn State? So again, they need a quarterback. It's just, who do they prioritize? And the last team I have is the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas would probably take him with the 38th pick, I believe it is right now. So there is a lot of potential picks for Paxton Lynch. I really like Paxton Lynch. I think he's a very good player. He's solid. I think he could develop into a solid pro at some point. And he'll develop well. Tomorrow I'll be doing Connor Cook. So stay tuned for that. And let me just finish up this game. See if I can pull off this comeback. Yeah, I don't have much else about him.
Here in the closing stages.
Well, I'm sure they would have loved to kick that field goal as time expired, but that's not the case. Good job of moving the football down the field, getting that field goal to put
All right.
ahead, and now the defense, go out there and do your job.
Now on first down, every snap crucial the rest of the way. First down at the 20.
Gone. Game.
Going to take it the distance.
Game over.
20.
That's it.
That's his third catch of the day.
What a good throw and catch by the quarterback and receiver. Look at the speed.
That was extremely lucky.
Defense
Extremely.
before he gets into the end zone.
Let's go let this run down the 5. Call timeout. Kick the field goal. Oh, tricked you.
The Rams with the timeout. They want to make
Gave the old switcheroo. Went down to 3.
for this final snap. Set now. The game
You watch me shank this.
line.
This wide left. Just Blair Walsh this bitch.
Set now. The game on the line right here.
Didn't miss it. I'm the GOAT.
Takes it, and the
Alright. That's pretty much it for this video. Expect Connor Cook tomorrow at some time. This one's probably going to end up going up about midnight the way I'm recording it. I'm recording it about 6.
And we don't give the kickers enough.
So,
They're the only
joy.
get the goal out.
This is J-Wax
Think about their
signing off.